Hi guys, it's Taneli from Vermithor again. Today it's the second part of our first episode of this video blog series about our upcoming studio sessions. And today we are visiting our rehearsal room. And I just pulled over at the parking lot before our rehearsals, and now I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna show you around our rehearsal room, which is actually our drummer's parents' garage, as it should be. And we're gonna take a look at our gear and have a quick chat with the other members of the band. Welcome aboard. Okay, welcome to our rehearsal room. So, Harri and Jan are already ready to warm up for our rehearsals. We're gonna start in about 10 minutes and still waiting for Sulo to come. And I'm gonna show you a quick tour around our gear first. So, here's our my guitar head and cabinet. So, I use Mesa Boogie rectifier cabinet and dual rectifier tube amp, and already put it on to warm the tubes. Here's my pedal board. I use the Metal Zone right now with as a boost for my Mesa Boogie, and also a separate equalizer to create the 90s metalcore / death metal sound that I try to sport right now. And here are Sulo's stuff. So he's using a combo 6505 PV, a classic, good choice, and he's boosting the tubes with the Maxon overdrive, which I sometimes use as well with my Mesa Boogie, but right now I'm going for a little bit more old school sound, so I use the Metal Zone. There's also HM2 waiting there to be used in some occasions, and of course noise suppression is crucial in these environments. Here's Sulo's guitar, nice Razorback Dime made in Korea with EMG 81s and Floyd Rose bridge. And here's Jan's drum set. Do you want to tell something about your drum set?
Yeah, I play Mapex drums and CE cymbals.
Yeah, so basic setup with two toms up front and couple of crashes, China, ride, and a splash. And one of the bass drums is actually working and the other one is just a stand. And here is Harri's stuff. Do you want to tell something about this?
Well, it's a custom bass.
Yeah, custom bass by Kiitos Instruments.
Yes, and there's a Marshall amp or a hybrid thingy.
Yeah, so it has both the solid state and the tube channels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are using the solid state right now.
I believe so, yeah. The transistor side, yeah.
Yeah. And
of course the pedal board, all trusty.
Yeah. It's just simple and effective. You have the preamp and a tuner. Nothing else is needed.
I got no other need for it.
Yeah, that's all you need. So, quick mini interview from other members. So, the first question, which one of the two tracks we are going to record is your favorite and why?
Well, I like Sickening Shrapnel Surgery because of the D beats mostly, the mid part blast beat stuff. So
yeah, it's a little bit of this rhythm, more complex structure.
Yeah.
And second question, what has been the biggest challenge during training for these upcoming studio sessions with these two songs?
Well, I think it's mostly just getting the songs tightly overall. Like, you gotta play them tight, and perhaps the blast beat parts even as well.
And the third question, what is the biggest takeaway from the previous studio sessions when we were recording Waste and Throne, and you will consider when we are entering the studio for the second time?
I think overall that everything's gonna be fine.
And last question for you, what do you think about taking an outsider as a producer aboard for these sessions?
Well, I think overall it's a good thing. I'm super into getting new suggestions and stuff like that when it comes to my playing, and it's an honor.
So, Harri, first question for you. Which one of these two tracks we are going to record is your favorite and why is that?
I'd say it's a surgery because of the more punk approach on the riffs and whatnot.
And second question, what has been the hardest part of preparations for these upcoming sessions?
It is not the not the how to play the songs, but how to play the songs. But this time around, we for the EP thingy we did, I think the bass playing was overly complex. So this one we chose to go in this more simplified direction.
And what was the biggest takeaway from last studio sessions that you are considering entering studio this time?
The biggest takeaway? Well, maybe this time, relax a bit before and enter the studio.
Yeah, taking it easy.
Yes.
And what do you think about taking an outsider as a producer for this new session?
At first, it was kind of a weird thing because it's kind of like band makes a song, right, and sends it to some guy, and the guy tells us what to do with the music. But on the other hand, because of that, we don't bicker amongst ourselves what to do with the songs.
Yeah.
So we kind of externalized the hardest decisions to someone else. So it's reduces stress, basically.
Yeah, so we can focus on the artistic side of
Yes.
execution. So, Sulo, what is the favorite song, or which is the favorite song of these two we're going to record, and why?
I like the Banged one because the first riff is really good, and I like playing the first few riffs.
You're more technical this time.
Yeah.
So, second question, what has been the most difficult part of preparations for these studio sessions?
I think that finding time to practice the songs, because we have I have a lot of other projects. For example, Varonas, we have been working on our second full length, which will come out maybe later this year, I think. So, yeah.
And a little bit different question for you as a lead guitarist. How much of your solos are already, you have considered already note by note, and how much you're going to leave a room for improvisation during the sessions?
On the last EP, almost everything was improvised in the studio. But this time, the other song, where the solo is more like fast, I made at home from note to note because I wanted it to sound the certain way.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other solo will be mostly improvised, I think, in the studio.
So 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50.
And last question, what do you think about taking an outsider producer for this studio session?
I think that it's a good idea in some cases, but for this project exactly, I don't think that it was the best course of action, because I like that the music sounds pure and that it comes from the person who makes it entirely. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and being the person who makes it entirely, I think I'm gonna be stuck with my ideas pretty soon, but it's good to have contradicting opinions so we can find the best outcome. Thanks. So those were some of the insights of our guys about the upcoming sessions, and now let's take a look at the rehearsals and how we managed to play those two new songs today. Here are some clips from our rehearsal. So that concludes the second part of the first episode of this video log series, and next episodes will be filmed in the studio, and I hope you enjoyed these first videos about the training and rehearsing and some of the insights from us about the studio sessions. And on the next episodes we will cover all the instruments and the vocal recording, and also do a mini interviews with our producer and our recorder. Thank you very much for watching this video.